All right, everyone. I wanted to just do a quick video. I have a Zoom later today as well with a couple Padsplit investors that are trying to deal with the collections process. So this video is all about what I'm doing to try to rectify the collections issue that some people are having when members move out of your Padsplit and leave a balance. Because we all know some of these balances are pretty low and they're not quite worth the time or effort to go to small claims court and get a judgment against your previous member. But at the same time, you do want to hold them accountable, correct? So that's what this is all about. So this is what I do. And I'm very new to this. I've just sent my first one to collections and I've built a rapport with this collections agency. Hopefully this will pan out. But this is going to be each and every host's responsibility on what they want to do because some of the things that we may not have been extremely clear on when jumping into PadSplit is if you do have someone move out, pending they actually move out without an issue, which from what I understand is most cases and all of my cases so far, when we've terminated someone, they have left, but they are going to leave a past due balance. I know PadSplit says, well, we won't let them move into another one of our host properties unless they pay off that balance first. That's all good and great, but we all know there's plenty of other options outside of PadSplit for rentals, whether that's weekly, monthly, or long term. There's other options. So PadSplit isn't really giving us a great option there. What Padsplit does, they only do track down that person for 7 days prior to move out. So from when that member moves out, they will keep trying to collect that debt for 7 days. After that, that's your responsibility. Now, Padsplit will give you some information so that you can actually go either file a judgment or open a small claim, open in a small claims court and file a judgment, or send them into collections. Now, what Padsplit does give you, they give you the member's email, the member's phone number, the member's date of birth, the member's ID, copy of ID, and member service agreement, and also a CSV file with a transaction history. That's needed because whoever you use for debt collection, they're going to want to see what they're supposed to be charging them. So that is important. And they want to make sure that you're actually charging them what you're supposed to. So they have to have that information backed up from another source to prove that you are actually charging this member or whoever they're collecting debt from the proper amount. So I have also had, members destroy things in the rooms. Maybe it was negligence, but it's most of the time it wasn't on purpose. It's just, messy people. And I had someone destroy a bed. So I proved that they destroyed the bed from pictures, showed how much that replacement bed cost, and we charged that to the member as well. So that is also part of their debt collection. But let's get into who I'm using and my process. So I am using Debt Collectors International. There is a charge. They're going to try to get you to pay $250 upfront to open each file. And we all know that's not realistic when we're chasing down $250 to $500, maybe $1,000 in some bad cases. So I worked with them to get a fee down to $99. And that was just by letting them know that I will likely have more work coming their way because of the model I'm running, explaining them what I'm doing and explaining to them a lot of these debts will be smaller. And they're not worth opening, going to court over. So I didn't want them to chase them down just to hold these people accountable because Padsplit does not actually hit them with a negative. They cannot actually negatively impact any of our members' credit score. The debt collection can. So even if I'm not getting the payment, I'm willing to pay a little bit more just to make sure that they're held accountable and they realize after I've tried to collect from them that their credit will be negatively impacted. So let's back up a little bit. After Padsplit tries to chase them down for 7 days, I do go through, and now that I have all of their information, I've already had their phone numbers, but I have all their information that I possibly need to send them to collections. I call them, leave a voicemail, text, and email every day from when Padsplit drops and stops trying to collect from them for 7 more days. And right out of the get-go, I offer them 25% less than they actually owe in total. And I offer to work that out with them in payments. Depending on how the members paid in the past, that can vary for you, but I usually try to spread it out over 3 months. That gives them a little bit of a buffer. So I'm also giving them the option to pay less than they actually owe and spread out those payments over months, and also make sure to let them know that this will not negatively impact their credit score as long as they work with me and make these on-time payments when we agree on the payment schedule. And, I really don't know if this works because I haven't done it yet. Like, I mean, I've started the collections and I've tried to collect, but it's only been one person that I've had to deal with this. So I would love to hear what you think if, there's something that you think it could be an easier, better process to collect. But most of these people, they're going to be really hard to collect from. The biggest thing is you do want to negatively impact their credit if they're not willing to work with you. So after those 7 days that I try to track them down, call, voicemail, text, email, I send them off to collections. And all that information that I got from Padsplit is what your collections agency is going to need to open this case. And what I do like about Debt Collectors International is they do have this portal where you can track the case and see the movement and if anything has came up of it and what they're doing to try to track down your debt. Their customer service has been great so far. I can always get a hold of somebody. It's not, constantly trying to find out who my file is and what it is and what's going on. They usually have a pretty quick answer. I will say I know there's options out there. I just haven't found them where there are some debt collectors that won't charge you an upfront fee to open your file. You only get charged as a percentage of whatever they collect. I have not found one of those yet. So if you have one, please put it in the description below or shoot me out an email. I would love to vet them out and see how they can possibly be a better option. As for Debt Collectors International, if you have any fee over $1,000 that you're trying to collect, any collections under $1,000, they're going to take 50% of whatever they make on top of that $99 that you pay to open the account. So that kind of sucks. If it's over $1,000, there's different requirements as far as they might take 30%. And then if they have to try to track something down for multiple years, then it jumps up to anything over a year. They're going to take 50% as well. So it behooves you as the host to actually try to work something out with the previous members and just give them a discount right off the bat. First, it makes it look like you're helping them out, willing to make payments with them and charging them less than they actually owe. But at the same time, we all know if you send someone to collections, the collections is going to take a fee of whatever they collect as well. And you're going to get a lot less than if you would have just given somebody a 25% break. I will say before I even went to Padsplit, I did have a previous member on one of my other in the same property, but when I was using a different platform called Alcove, that did break lease because I used to have a month-to-month lease. And I did the same thing with him. And because his credit was good and he had to move due to a job and break lease, he was willing to work that out with me. And I spread it out over 3 months because he had, I think it was $1,200 month rent and he had a break lease and he left a month early. So I just knocked 25% off and I spread that out over 3 months because he has rent wherever he's moving forward. But he was a rare case, I would think, as with his situation, he had to move because of a job. He also was in a good state where he had good credit and he didn't want to ruin that. So he was willing to work with me. Either way, this is going to be a case by case basis depending on your member that you're working with. Um, and most times we probably aren't going to collect. So, like I said, if we find that collections agency, let's share it throughout the community that doesn't collect up front and they only take money if, a percentage of whatever they do collect. But as for now, Debt Collectors International, which will be in the description of this video, is what I found that seems to work for me. And the communication's been great. It was an easy process to open. And that's what I have for you guys. So I hope this helped and catch up with me and let me know what's been working for you.